In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You're advised that any views expressed by the hosts or their guests are not necessarily the views of Togi Entertainment or its partners.
Motherhood Incorporated proudly presents Military Mom Talk Radio live on TogiNet.com. Co-hosted by Robin Boyd and Sandra Beck, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here with a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. Military Mom Talk Radio encourages you to share your experiences of being a military wife and mother. This show is dedicated to educating your family about the many resources that are available in both the public and private sector, and we'll be sharing helpful information from women all over the world. We'll cover everything military, from helping a family member cope with post-traumatic stress disorder, to navigating government programs dealing with family issues, to the struggles of deployment, along with being a working mother both in and out of the home. This is Military Mom Talk Radio, and here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd, and we've got a great show today. We've got, Robin, we've got
a full show. We have a great show today. We've got, did I lose Sandra, or did I lose me? One of the other. We have Lori Bell today.
So many people coming today. We've got...
I think we have a confusion here. I'm not sure which of us is on, so I will plug it. Lori Bell is on from the National Association of Military Moms and Spouses. We have ClearedJobs.net. We have Kathleen Smith joining us from ClearedJobs. And then today we have Joyce Faulkner joining us back again from the...
Robin, can you hear me?
Now I can. Yep.
There
I was just saying.
Go. It's just it's the excitement, the pre-show excitement.
I know. Well, it was funny because I wasn't sure if you were off or I was off, but I figured I'd just keep on talking.
I think we're both off. They're just, every week.
Yeah, we're both off. It's just been somebody else. They're just playing tunes. Anyway, I was just saying how we have Lori Bell and and we have ClearedJobs coming on, but we're also having Joyce Faulkner back today, and this is always wonderful because, everybody has a story in them, and Joyce is from the Military Writers Society of America, and honestly, if anybody had ever had reservations about putting their thoughts down, putting it to pen and paper, putting pen to paper is what I'm trying to spit out. It's worth putting down, and no matter if one person or a million people read it, it's worth it. So I just love it when Joyce is with us.
I do too, because, she always gives such great advice to writers, and, she encourages the military community. And what I love about what she does is she's an active participant of preserving our military history through the written word. And that's just so powerful because it's a gift that she gives and she brings for generations to come.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the most important things that we can encourage everyone to do, is to be that part of history, because so many times a story will get lost. And I've said this before, little things that even my mother went through when she was first married. And I said, you need to write this down for Emily, my daughter. She's a newlywed, and those are the things that get lost. We were such a storyteller society many generations ago, and we've lost that. So we have to make sure that stays in our society.
I think so too, Rob. So much of that oral tradition is now being replaced by digital media, which is great because we're kind of a, oral representative of a lot of the different things that are going on in the current military today. And one of the things I'm really excited about, Rob, is that in the coming months, we're going to have our Small Business Expo online. And I've lined up some really, really great guests coming on. Coming up soon is going to be Bob Corcoran, and he's a lifetime business coach, and he's going to bring us lots of great information. We've got Norma Stratton, who is a woman's empowerment business coach, and she works exclusively in the real estate and sales industry, which is such a great career for our moms and our wives because it gives you a lot of flexibility. And we're going to welcome coming up in June, Mark Williams, and he's going to talk to us about the power of saying no in becoming successful. He talks about looking for the no, which to me was just such an interesting concept because I'm always looking for the yes. And he's like, no, San, look for the no, because the people who say no, you can't sell anything, you can't do anything with. So you want to look for the no's, get rid of them, push them to the side, and work on the yeses. And that was such an interesting concept. So I'm so excited for this Small Business Expo that we're going to bring to the air.
I'm excited too. On so many levels, we always find such interesting people to meet through here, and to be able to fill a service at the same time is going to be wonderful.
It is, and I learn a lot. That's the best thing. I think I've gotten so much smarter.
I am so enriched by every single person that we have had in the last 3 years that we've had on the show. It is just amazing how many interesting people we have. And I'll go and I'll be somewhere and I'll talk to somebody. You've got to tune into this podcast. It was wonderful. It's just exciting. It really is.
It is. Well, and you put it so nice. You're like, you're enriched. I become smarter. But it's so much fun because every week, we bring to the airwaves, just everything from people who make quilts to military fly moms to, the Small Business Expo to authors to charities. I mean, like Lori Bell's NAMMAS, the National Association of Military Moms. A lot of people don't know about it, and it's really cool.
Absolutely. And this is what's so exciting is that there is a lot out there, and it's just a matter of networking. And don't we do that well? I'm not saying you and me. I think women network really well, and I'm just really excited about it. I wanted to bring up something that I found on the web, San, talking about storytelling and being able to perpetuate things. I found a website that is for military children and youth, and it's called A Backpack Journalist. And a lot of young people are not only journaling, but they are learning the communications industry. They're learning photography. This is just really exciting, and I stumbled upon this and found it to be really, really multi-level, because not only is it giving them the opportunity to learn about journalistic reporting, it's giving them a chance to interview people from past generations, it's giving them career paths moving forward, but it's also giving them an outlet. If they are military children, they need to be talking about deployment. They need to talk about the difficulties of their parents' reintegration. This is just exciting. And
it is exciting.
I wanted to share that. I just wanted to share that. The website is abackpackjournalist.com, and it is targeted. It's called Hands-On Training for Military Children and Youth, and they have a summer camp coming up. If you're interested in learning more about their summer camp, if you want to learn more about their work that they have done, digital storytelling, backpack learning, really exciting. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and that was my little find for the week, my little internet find. I thought it was very, very interesting.
That is. There's so many great things going on right now, within the military community. I'm still excited about the social media, the stuff that I see go on in Facebook. And, I'm going to put another shout out this week to my girls over at Fort Sill Army Wives, because they just continue, to be so much fun. And they're such great supporters of the show. And we got interviewed this week by a reporter from the Fort Bliss Monitor. So we want to say a big hello out to Fort Bliss and how great it is to be honored by their newspaper and to be interviewed. That was really fun. It was fun to be on the other side of the interview.
I know sometimes it is kind of hard, isn't it? Because you're thinking of the next question versus you've got to be thinking of the next answer.
Absolutely. Well, and it was so funny because, she asked me, and I'm sure, Robin, you got asked the same question, what is the best thing about Military Mom Talk Radio? And it was so hard for me to come up with one answer because feels so good every week. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
It feels so good every week to get on the air and make a difference, and bring this information. But then we get to meet all these cool people. We get to make friends all over the military, not only, with the brass, the service members and their families. It was really hard to come up with just one.
Oh, yeah. And that's the beauty of this is that it isn't just one. This is really a truly multi-level opportunity that we have every single week to meet all of these people and to bring so much interesting things to everybody. So, and our numbers are growing. We've got a lot of people out there. So we're really excited to have each and every one of you.
Yeah. And that's where the social media has been so fun because, these military wives and military moms and military family members discover the show and they're like, we love this show. This is so great. People can go on iTunes and download old shows because we've got shows on PTSD. We've got shows on, great authors, great reads. We've got medical professionals that come on. We have childcare experts. My God, Rob, what haven't we covered in the last 3 years?
I don't know. Whatever it is, we're certainly due to find it because the phone's always ringing. We're always finding new people, and we love it. We hope everybody will drop us a note every once in a while. Sam, we've got a minute left, and on the other side of the break, I know Kathleen Smith from ClearedJobs.net has done a presentation on internet and social networking as far as job searches is concerned. So it'll be interesting to talk to her on the other side of the break. And she, again, is representing ClearedJobs.net. Definitely a website you want to check out and really take some time to peruse. There's an awful lot on that website. And again, we want to make sure that everybody joins us for on the podcasts because we really do have a wealth of things there. On the other side of the break, we're going to meet Kathleen Smith. And again, it's ClearedJobs.net. Lots of questions. Oh my gosh, we have so many questions to ask Kathleen. I hope she's ready. Get a cup of tea and get ready because we'll be back in a moment.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Join us for Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu. Wednesday nights at 10, 9 Central on TogiNet.com. Helen Wu was born and raised in San Francisco's Chinatown, and after a very difficult upbringing, fighting depression, abuse, and addictions, she finally finds herself genuinely happy inside and out. Helen believes in taking our positive thinking and doing something positive to achieve a positive outcome. She's here to make a positive difference in your life, to be your game changer, your aha moment mentor. She's ready to help both men and women get into a better place. Helen Wu is also the author of Self-Aid Success Stories, 25 success stories from successful entrepreneurs. Inspired by Ellen DeGeneres, Helen wants the world to know that just because we find ourselves in a difficult situation doesn't mean we have to stay there. We can aid ourselves to a better life. So join us for Self-Aid Success Stories with Helen Wu. Wednesday nights at 10, 9 Central on TogiNet.com. Get ready to laugh along with This Little Parent Stayed Home with Allie Lopreet. Friday evenings at 6, 5 Central on TogiNet.com. This is a truly realistic, no-nonsense, tell-it-like-it-is method that will have you laughing and crying, surviving while struggling, and hammering away at the hardships as you travel through the greatest journey of your life. Get empowered by joining thousands of other parents who have also decided to take a leap of faith into a double career with longer hours and half the pay simply because of the love they have for their children. Together, we are rebuilding a new economy that will support us rather than enslave us. Never again will we have to choose between raising our children and earning to provide for them. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. For more on Allie and her success, check out her website, ourmilkmoney.com. So come get empowered with This Little Parent Stayed Home with Allie Lopreet. Friday afternoons at 6, 5 Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra and Robin, and we are going to go right to welcoming our guest because she has so much to share with us. We have Kathleen Smith from ClearedJobs.net. And Kathleen, can you hear me?
I sure can, Sandra.
Oh, thank you for coming on the show today. So what's ClearedJobs.net for our viewers or our listeners who haven't caught earlier broadcasts that you've been on?
Well, it's wonderful to be back. I love your guys' show. Just love all the things that you're doing for the community, and you're always a good crack up, so I love being here. ClearedJobs.net.
Have you every week if you would say that.
I needed an afternoon giggle, and I certainly got it. So thanks, guys. I really needed it. So ClearedJobs.net is a veteran-owned company. We were founded by a couple of Marines, so happy Marines are here in the halls. But we are a cleared job board, and what that means is that we are a resource for people who are looking for a job to look at job postings and to look at a variety of different resources that people might want to use as far as their job search. Now, what a cleared job board is meaning that only the jobs that we are posting are for people with security clearances. We also do cleared job fairs here in the Washington, D.C. area, and we only offer jobs for people with security clearances. And the reason why we make that distinction is that the employers that we work with are cleared facilities employers. Those are the people that can hold a person's clearance. So if someone's coming out of the military and they want to make sure that they're continuing security cleared work and supporting the mission, they want to make sure that they're going to go work with a cleared facilities employer. So that's why we only have jobs that are posted by cleared facilities employers and only companies that are cleared facilities employers at our job fairs.
Wow, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. I just think that's so good. It's such a defined market. I just think that's really cool. So now you guys are doing some neat stuff for Military Appreciation Month, which is this month.
Mm-hmm. Well, we always have a great time in May. I was going to say October because we also have a good time in October when we honor the Marines for their birthday, and we also do the Wounded Warrior Ride in October. But May, we really do something pretty much every week. So we recognize a veteran every Monday on Military Monday on Twitter, and we ask that veteran to put together a blog post of the 4 or 5 things that they found difficult in their transition from, working in the military community and moving into the commercial community, and some of their tidbits that they can pass on to other people. We also make sure that we go out to all of our bases within the area, and we continue our social media courses that we teach. We actually call it Social Media and Sandwiches because, unfortunately, the TAP class that outline is out there doesn't incorporate having social media, and they said they weren't willing to change the schedule. So I said, I'm sorry, people out there need to know more about social media and their job search, so I'm going to bring sandwiches. So that's what we do. We bring sandwiches, and we teach social media to folks who are transitioning out of the military because they need to know that for their job search. But then we also realize that, as you guys were saying earlier, that there are so many people in the military who are on Twitter, on Facebook, on various different social media, So we started something called the Military Spouse Appreciation Campaign, and that has gone from this year from April 30th until May 11th, and we put together a certificate that is sent out over Twitter, over our Twitter handle, Mil Spouse Day, and we recognize a different military spouse each day. So if anyone has a military spouse that they would like to recognize, just send a tweet to @MilSpouseDay, and we'll put together a certificate and send that out to them. We're also doing a variety of other events here in the Washington, D.C. area. We're part of a group called Recruit D.C., which brings together all of the recruiters in the Washington, D.C. area. And one of the things we'll be doing is a military hiring panel. This is something that I'm leading. I've realized that there are so many veterans who need to be hired, but the big disconnect that is happening is recruiters do not understand how to recruit a veteran. They don't understand the cultural differences, and they don't understand the commitment that a company needs to make to veteran hiring. So we're bringing together 4 or 5 people who are on the front lines of veteran hiring and saying, what are the 5 tips you can hand off to any recruiter so that they can turn around making sure that more veterans are hired in their companies.
Well, and that it works, Kath. That's like what's so important, because most of the employers I talk to, all they see is the veteran credit. You know, they're like,
right.
Ooh, we get this tax credit, so we're going to hire a veteran. Wahoo wah. It's like getting a puppy on Christmas morning. And, you know, they don't even have a crate, most of them. So that's really insulting to our sponsors and our advertisers. But there's a lot of truth to it. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm. I do. I mean, it's something I appreciate that there are so many companies who say, yes, we're on the bandwagon, yes, we want to do this, but they don't understand, as one of my panelists said, that this is a commitment from top down all the way through, from senior management explaining to people that you have to have a mentoring program, you have to have education, you have to have training inside the company to make the transition easier for the veteran, but also to recognize the value of, the value of bringing in a military veteran and how to be able to translate those skills into benefits for the company. So I got really frustrated, and I said, there's got to be something I can do. And I said to my board members at Recruit DC, we've got to have an hour focused on military hiring. And I'm really honored Colonel David Sutherland, who is the Special Assistant to the Joint Chiefs of Staff on Wounded Care and Military Family Support, is actually going to come and do the keynote speech for the Recruit DC to really remind people that, these are people who, our veterans are people who have brought so much safety and security to our country, and we owe them a debt of gratitude, and we really need to change the way we think about hiring veterans.
Amen to that. I think that's so great, because that's a big thing Robin and I always get on our bandwagon about is, making relationships that work. It sounds good on paper and it looks good on your tax forms, and it sounds great. It's great PR, but there's a lot more to it than just signing somebody up.
Well, that's one of our panelists is also a former Marine, and he talks about his experience of the first 3 months of his new job, and he was so frustrated, and there was no one to talk to, and there was no one to share his frustration, and he left the company. And that's, pretty much what happens when the veteran and the company do not understand the cultural difference. And more than 80% of transitioning veterans leave their first job within the first year because they just sort of say, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So we want to make sure that, the transition is successful for both the company and the veteran.
Yeah, because it's tough on everybody. I've watched some of my vet friends, transition into companies. Like I remember, one going to this company that I can't name because I'll probably get sued, but he was the only one there, and it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare for this guy. The company was mad, but they wanted to keep him. And, then there's another company, a big national soda company that hired like a bunch of the guys out of the 3rd Anglico, and they had a good support structure in place. There were other ex-military there. There was a mentoring program to guide them through. A lot of those guys are still there today, and we're going back 5, 6, 7 years. That's what we want. We want it to work long term.
Yes, it's amazing. There are some simple steps, but it's making that commitment up front. So that's part of what we're doing for Military Appreciation Month. It's really interesting because this has really gained a lot of steam, and I'm really proud to see this happen, because when we came up with the Military Spouse Appreciation Campaign on Twitter a few years ago, people were like, what was that? What were we doing? But as I've found with anything in social media, if you believe in the program, you have to commit to it, and you have to continue providing support to it. So I'm really glad that every year we pick 100 to 200 military spouses to recognize, and it really makes a difference in their day. I mean, I can't recognize everyone. I wish I could, but to be able to make a difference in 100 to 200 people's days really makes my day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, the other thing that we do that we're preparing right now is we're preparing for the Wounded Warrior EOD ride. There's lots of different programs out there that support the Wounded Warriors, but we have an office in San Diego, and many of our staff out there ride, these big, long, grueling bike rides. And they decided that they wanted to help some of their buddies that were working in the EOD, and realized that there was money that needed to be raised for the Wounded EOD Foundation. So these guys put together a ride. They go out one weekend every October, ride about 200 miles, and they raise a lot of money for their comrades that have been wounded in the EOD.
Well, where do they go? Like LA to San Diego, or San Francisco to San Diego? No, it's 800 miles. Where do they ride from to and from?
Well, what's great is that they start in LA, and then they ride through Camp Pendleton, and they end at Liberty Station in San Diego.
Okay, so here's how Military Mom's going to support your event. I'm going to get a beach chair, and I'm going
to...
Okay. I want to make sure, Sandra, we let everybody know that they can find more information at ClearedJobs.net, and that's ClearedJobs.net. You'll find more about the EOD Warrior Foundation ride, which is in October, right, Kathleen?
It's in October, the first weekend of October.
First weekend in October. And if you have a military spouse that you would like to include in the Appreciation Week, you've got until Friday to tweet to @MilSpouseDay and send that name, and they will definitely send an appreciation out. There's so many ways that you are impacting our community, and we thank you, Kathleen, so much.
Oh, my pleasure. I love being with you guys.
We love you too, and thanks for all that you're doing for our military community. On the other side of the break, we have Lori Bell. The NAMMAS community is like a great support bra. When life gets tough, we'll help hold you up and together. Isn't that awesome? Back with Lori in a minute.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Parents, if you feel overloaded, overworked, underappreciated, and seriously stressed out, The Parents Plate is here to help you. The Parents Plate with Brenda Nixon. Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet. It's time to build stronger families through parent empowerment. And that's what The Parents Plate does. The Parents Plate understands the busyness of life and balancing child rearing and other commitments. Brenda Nixon will be talking to noted experts and authors on all issues, from teething to teen driving. Brenda Nixon is a nationally recognized speaker to parents and child care professionals and author of the award-winning The Birth to 5 book. From Fox 4 in Kansas City to schools and synagogues to businesses to bookstores, conferences to churches, audiences rave that Brenda engages, educates, and encourages. For more information on Brenda and her books, check out her website, BrendaNixon.com. The Parents Plate is loaded with information and affirmation. The Parents Plate with Brenda Nixon. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to be a rock star. Get ready to rock with Rock Talk and Kurt Deswald, and learn how to achieve rock star status in your industry. Every Tuesday afternoon at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Craig Deswald is the creator of the Rockstar System for Success. Craig will share easy tips and strategies on how entrepreneurs and businesses can use outside-the-box marketing strategies to stand out from their competition. Each high-energy show will feature interviews with celebrity rock stars as well as business rock stars. For more on Craig, the show, and the Rockstar Marketing Boot Camps, check out the website, CraigDeswald, DUSWALT.com, so you can learn how to be perceived as an expert and celebrity in your field, so more people come to you to buy your services and products. Then, get ready to be a rock star with Rock Talk and Craig Deswald. Tuesday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra and Robin, and we just had a great segment with Kathleen Smith of ClearedJobs.net. You guys should look her up. And they were talking about the undefeated 2-day ride fundraiser for Wounded EOD Warrior Foundation. And I got cut off, but Rob, I wanted to tell everybody that the way Military Mom Talk Radio is going to support this event, because, you know, it's right in our local area, I'm going to get a beach chair, I'm going to take a beer, sit in my bikini, and wave at all the guys as they ride by.
They're not going to finish the ride if you do that.
I just figured we got to show our support somehow. We're both broke, scraping the bottom of the barrel in this market. So I figured that would be a great thing. I'll cheer, I'll blow whistles, and I'll go, yoo-hoo!
You're going to cause accidents, Sandra. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we need to find another way.
Oh, right. Robin, it's the killjoy. My silliness.
No, I'm sorry, honey. You go do whatever you want in your bikini.
Okay. I got some new ones because we're just getting into bikini season out here, so it's just so great. And for anybody out there who says you're 40 years old, you're too old to wear a bikini, just settle down.
I think anybody should wear whatever they want to wear.
You know, one of the ladies growing up near my house, Rob, in upstate New York was like 86, and she would rock this two-piece. It was not a true bikini. It was a two-piece. But she would get out there, 80 years old, swimming with her little goggles on and her little midriff showing, and I was like, that's it. I'm going to wear these suckers till I die.
There you go. There you go.
Well, speaking of outstanding women, we have Lori Bell coming up, the founder and president, El Presidente, of NAMMAS.org, the National Association of Military Moms and Spouses. And this is the only network of its kind that brings thousands of moms of service members and spouses together in one supportive online community, except for our radio show. I just have to give you some flack, Lori. You're coming back. You've been on here before, so we're so excited to have you. Lori, can you talk about how you came to start NAMMAS and why did you do it?
Oh, man. Well, thanks for having me on again. This is so much fun listening to you guys. NAMMAS started because my husband deployed. And the first time he deployed, and I needed a support network. We were stationed in Alaska, and I was just kind of wandering around on the internet one day wondering where do spouses go when they needed to connect and kind of hang out and socialize a little bit. And this was back in 2009. I didn't really see much of anything. And now today there's several Facebook groups out there, but I wanted to create my own thing, so I started National Association of Military Moms and Spouses, and back then we had about 7 people. It was like 7 of my friends. I said, you better join us. I started, so let's just do it.
Yeah, because we're national, so you better join us.
Right, yeah. And they did, and now today we have a little over 2,000 members, and looking to expand the membership in new and fun ways. So I'm really excited about all the things that NAMMAS is able to do through the members, how they socialize together, talk to each other, help each other through things. And the most interesting group is the military moms, the service members. These are some hardcore women who love their sons and daughters. And it's like sending your baby off to the world. I mean, and so the dynamic is a lot more different.
You know?
Yeah.
That's just think, it's like, this is going to be an awful thing. I take a lot of flack for saying awful things, but I am a mother and I've been a wife. I would so rather have sent my husband than my kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just something in us, that mama bear that comes out that says like, I won't like it if you hurt my husband, but I'll kill you if you hurt my kid.
Yeah. And that's kind of the attitude. And so a lot of moms don't really know what to expect when their son or daughter goes off to boot camp or when they send them off to the academy or to college, especially boot camp, because it's like, well, when is that first phone call coming? So they get on there and they talk to other moms who've been there. And we've done something very interesting with the membership where we recently we began doing a membership, an exclusive membership fee, because we had a lot of people joining who were spammers and they just wanted to sell things and
I'm sure they wanted to promote their radio show, things like that.
And we love our radio partners, and you definitely would be one. But so we had to make it exclusive, and I think it's helped weed out a lot of just the junk. And there's something about having an exclusive community that's just for you, just your place to go. So that's one of the best thing I like about what we've done there at NAMMAS, and it's really just member driven. Member-based.
Well, and that's so important, Lori, because, your fees are not high. What you do is so important. And, it's like rich people or celebrities that go eat, a $50 meatball sub at an exclusive restaurant just so they don't get bothered by other people. And to go to a group unmolested without the opportunists trying to sell the military family everything under the sun, that's so great. I know. Corporate sponsors are just dropping like flies today.
But you're right, and that's the biggest challenge I had. It was everybody from small business to big business going, let me at them, and I'm very protective over our members, and I figured that was the best way to do it. I think for the longest time I was undervaluing the community, keeping it free, and I figured, $14.95 a year. We could do that. If you find worth and value in it, we can do that. And so the stories that come out of it where the reserve moms or guard spouses who don't live near a military base, they find their niche right there in the community because nobody speaks their language on their block. They're the only military families for miles. And so they find their family, they find friends right there on the site. So it's a nice thing. I like it.
The price of like 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks, you've got a year membership.
Exactly. So,
Lori, you were recognized or you were honored a couple of years ago as the Military Spouse Magazine's 2010 Spouse of the Year. How was that for you, representing so many people? But how has that changed maybe the direction that you've taken NAMMAS since then?
Oh my goodness! I tell you what. Military Spouse Magazine, they have done an awesome thing by honoring us, not only with our own publication, but also an award that honors the military spouse. And as a matter of fact, this week, we're getting ready to pass the torch from the 2011 person to the new 2012 person. Just this week, this Thursday here in D.C., we're going to have a luncheon to honor the 2012 winner. But for NAMMAS...
Did you get a crown?
No. Oh my gosh, Babette Maxwell would have a cow if we did crowns and sashes. Because you know what? When the award first started in 2008, and I was named in 2010, nobody knew what it was, and everybody thought, oh, how nice, you guys get your own little thing. But I think around about my year, where all the other branch winners and then where I was, we all had our own platforms and own things that we really wanted to do for military spouses. And that award represents over 1 million military spouses all over the country. So to be named as one who is doing what they deem valuable and worthy to recognize, it was so humbling. And so it's really helped me see that it's not about where I am and what I'm doing, but it's kind of like a domino effect. When you start serving, you step out there, and you do things that you think are insignificant, they have a huge impact and lasting impact on people that you don't even know, that you don't even realize. I still meet people today that say, wow, I remember you were on the cover, and that was in 2010. So
it really hurt that you're good looking too.
Well, thank you. My husband thinks so too. So, yeah. But it's just an awesome thing to be recognized like that way, and to have a national award, a national magazine say that, hey, you guys are doing something great, and then it continues to get bigger and better every year. The thing that these spouses are bringing to the table now is just mind blowing. What people are doing.
Well, you've got some pretty good things going on, my friend. This book coming out, Prosper Where You're Planted, The Military Spouse Guide to Creating the Life You Want with the Military Life You Get. I love that caveat on there, because planted is just the perfect word. Where are you from originally? Because you have this wonderful Southern accent.
South Carolina.
So you went from South Carolina to Alaska. Talk about taking a lily and planting it in an ice field.
Yeah, that was. But I actually served in the Air Force for 10 years. So, and I've lived in Japan, and I've done Italy, and we've had quite a few exciting assignments. And my journey to prosper when you plan it actually started when I got out of the military, because I had big dreams and big goals, and nothing was working. And it was because I could not get planted. And it was a mental thing, and it was a heart issue that I didn't want to be where I was. I wanted to be where somebody else was and where I thought I should be. And it really, that message was born out of my own personal journey, where I believe God has really taken me through, where I'm kind of going, okay, I'm done fighting against what I'm called to do, and I'm ready to just settle down, and here I am. And that's actually when that award started, that award started just kind of ballooning into something much bigger, even now with NAMMAS being as big, with the book that I'm releasing this year. And it's just, I see the need for it in our community, because when you say planted, get planted to a military spouse, I mean, that's almost, because when do we ever get planted? We're always moving. And we're always in transition.
Now, Lori, will we find your book on your website, your NAMMAS website?
I definitely will when it's released, and also I want to get it online and get it into the bookstores and anywhere where books are sold. But the first place it will be released will be at our first live event, our NAMMAS live event, Prosper Where You Planted Boost Camp in October.
Good. In October.
Yeah, Lori's coming back to promote that right before
I was just going to say, we want to make sure Lori's coming back. Lori, we've got to close the segment, and I'm always so sad to close it up, but we know we'll have you back on another day, and we'll have lots more information. Please visit Lori and all of her network at NAMMAS.org, and we thank you so much, Lori, for coming by and saying hi. You're awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
On the other side of the break, we're going to have another Author's Corner with Joyce Faulkner from the Military Writers Society of America. I love Joyce, and we can't wait to hear what she's got today. Back in a moment.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Friday Night Camp Radio, 10 p.m. to midnight with Christy and Laura on TogiNet.com. Broadcasting from their scrappy kitchen in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. They've got nothing better to do than riff with their favorite Brooklyn-based independent vendors, artists, bands, bartenders, foodies, weirdos, and news stories. Featuring the live studio audience. Betty Rehab and the Gay Boys. Sex and dating commentary with the Impersonals. The Unknown Political Masked Man. And people who kind of know stuff. Stream on after your long week. Brooklyn's variety show of madcap intellectualism. Friday Nightcap Radio with Lauren Christie, 10 to midnight Eastern on TogiNet.com. Radio like you've never seen.
Wondering how to market, where to invest, where to advertise, where to find the right advice, or what to do about taxes? Doing business today is a complex venture, and that's where All Biz Talk comes in. All Biz Talk helps businesses and individuals find the right path to their success and learn more about the ideas, products, and services used by today's top professionals. Success leaves clues, so if you want to be successful, it's always best to listen to the people who have already been where you want to be. Our hosts are unbiased and will ask the hard questions, taking your calls to help connect you with the right professionals, people who can help you get a better handle on your personal and business choices. All Biz Talk is not a financial services company and does not offer any financial advice, but we will help you make the right choice when it comes to planning your financial future. Join All Biz Talk Tuesday afternoons at 1 Pacific, 3 Central at allbiztalk.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and a Statue of Liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra and Robin, and for those of you that missed the earlier segments of the show, we had Kathleen Smith of ClearedJobs.net talking about all the exciting things that they're doing over there for May, which is Military, Wife or Family Appreciation Month. It's hard to keep up with these months. We had Lori Bell, who's the president of NAMMAS, the National Association of Military Moms and Spouses. That's something you should check out at NAMMAS.org, NAMMAS.org. And then we get to welcome the power guru, the woman who knows everything there is to know about writing military books, publishing military books, and she's been a member of the Military Writers Society of America since 2006. She served as secretary and webmaster, and now she is the president. So it's like serious power women today. We've had two presidents and a social media expert. I'm so humbled.
Well, hello.
Joyce.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, how's that for a lead-in?
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh gosh. Well, you definitely. Sometimes people would say, "Wow, what an act to follow!" But honestly, you are a gem, and we are just so grateful that you're here with us once a month to help encourage us. Don't you agree that there are just so many stories out there, untold stories, and all it takes is just for somebody to sit down and say, "Okay, where do I begin?" And once you've begun, then it just opens up so much for just not only that person, but everybody else who will be blessed with that book afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. And even in smaller formats, an article or a short story or a blog is a way to reach out and rescue these stories before they get forgotten.
Now, does Military Writers Society have a blog that you can direct people to?
Yes, you can. Just go to our website, militarywriters.com, and everybody in the organization has a place where they can put their information in their blogging comments and things like that, and that appears right at the bottom of our front page. So a lot of times people will put their stories, little short stories, and of course we do have a Facebook as well, a Facebook group that people are welcome to come and join.
Now, once somebody has started, I think you have you have a manuscript. You start putting things together. You've got your thoughts kind of in process. What's next, Joyce? I think that's where probably a lot of people may start, but never follow through because it's a little daunting as to how to go about bringing it to the next level.
It It is the first time you go through it, for sure. The second and third and fourth and 20th time you start to get to know your way around the field, so to speak. Probably the first thing that you want to do is to decide what your purpose is. A lot of times people write something just for their family, or they write something that's for their church or their social organization. So how you would publish something like that would be different than if you have literary aspirations or you want your book ultimately to end up in the National Archives, for example. So you need to have a purpose, and you need to be realistic about your purpose. If you're only going to, if you're only going to write one book because you feel like you only have one story, then it's probably more reasonable to think about self-publishing or subsidy publishing. If, on the other hand, you plan on writing every day of your life and you have literary aspirations, then it's probably worth your while to go through the process for what we call a traditional publisher. So essentially, I've tossed out there the three basic ways of publishing your material: traditional, subsidy, and self-publishing. And to make the choice on that, right now, there are many ways of doing all three. For example, a book can be published as a traditional book like we're used to seeing, that you carry around and put in your backpack. But a lot of books now are coming out for Kindle and iTunes, and you can read them on your phone. You can read them in a tablet. You can read them on the Kindle itself or an iPad. So
the mobile devices are exploding right now. They're absolutely exploding.
Exactly. So, for example, if you are traditionally published, meaning somebody funds you the whole way through and pays for every bit of it, and you get just a small fraction of what comes back, in other words, that's your royalty, they are also publishing things on all these different platforms. If you're going to do it self-publishing, you can do it yourself. And you also can put it into an e-book or an app on a phone or, in a blog on a tablet. There's just such a variety of approaches that you can take. So knowing your purpose, again, comes right back to that. What do you want to do with this material that you've you've created, you've edited it, you've written it, you've edited it, you've had other people read it, they look at it, and they say, oh, this really needs to be out there. This is an important story. Well, now the next step is who's going to do it. So the target audience is the next step you need to decide. Is this just for military people? Is it just for women? Is it just for children? Is it just for church? You have a variety of audiences out there. So who you choose to publish your book may depend on who you want to read your book. So, for example, if you have written a religious book, you may want to check out all of the Christian publishers that are out there because, and this isn't even a philosophical thing, because they have already made investments in the channels that reach the audience that you want to touch. And they have stores, and they have websites, and they have distribution. And that makes it easier for you to get your book to the people you want to see it. Same way with children's books. Say you've written a book about, what it's like to be a military, a child in a military family. You want to look at the children's publishers that are out there and determine who can do the best job of getting your book to that audience. So now traditional publishers, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I just had a little tangent here, a question. If you've published something in a traditional format, you have an ISBN number, and then decide, okay, that was done in a traditional book. I'd like to get it for mobile devices. Now, do you have to start all over again, and or can you just go ahead and take that existing publication and just convert it to the right format?
That's a wonderful question. And it's something that's going on in the publishing industry right now between authors and publishers. It depends upon your contract. For those people who signed on with a publisher, say 5-10 years ago, you probably gave up your electronic rights. And it will depend on the publisher whether or not they want to publish as an ebook. However, most recently, authors are saying, I'm not giving up my ebook rights, my electronic rights, because it's so easy to publish on Kindle. It's essentially free, and you get 70% of the price of the book if you do it yourself. That even big authors who have sold millions of books have decided to go that route themselves because it's more lucrative. And they're already popular. People know they're there, so it's a great opportunity. So for anybody these days who's signing with a traditional publisher, I always recommend hold your electronic rights to yourself and make sure that that's specified in your contract.
Good point.
For that very reason.
Because every novice is faced with a contract, and unless you kind of know the ins and outs of that particular industry, you're going to overlook a couple of little details, and that's just a real powerful one for us to watch for. Joyce, we only have a couple of minutes till the end. I want you to make sure that you give everybody your website again so that everyone knows where to contact you.
Okay, you can go to militarywriters.com. That's writers with an S. And my email address is mwsapresident@gmail.com. And we'd love to have you join us to come if you're writers. And we have programming for those people who are just beginning to write, for those who are just beginning to publish, and then for the old hands. Last weekend we had a wonderful book discussion forum that we do regularly. So if you're in any stage of the game, that gives you an opportunity to talk with other people who are going through the same process.
Wow, how wonderful. And Facebook, is it Military Writers or is it your acronym?
It's Military Writers of America. As a group. And so if you search on that, you'll be able to find it.
Excellent. Well, Joyce, I hope we'll have you back next month. We have you on the calendar. Yay.
I'm on the calendar.
That's great. Thanks, Joyce Faulkner from Military Writers Society of America. Always such wonderful information. Next week, be sure to join us because we'll have Debbie Gregory from militaryconnection.com. She's been here with us, and boy, she never ceases to amaze me, the wealth of information that woman has for us. We're also going to invite Bob Corcoran here. He is from, he will begin our Small Business Expo that Sandra was talking about earlier. So you'll want to tune in for that and get a great head start on the Small Business Expo that we've got planned here on Military Mom Talk Radio. Be sure to always check our podcasts on iTunes and here on the TogiNet Network. Our show page always has our podcasts of past shows. You'll want to check in and not miss any of it. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here today. We'll watch for you next week on Military Mom Talk Radio. Bye-bye.